Let's bring on the show, ladies and gentlemen, from the hit podcast, The Dollop. Dave Anthony.
What's up, Alex Jones? How you doing, Milo? How are you?
Just putting out hurtful content. That's all I'm doing, according to YouTube. So, welcome to the Political Vigilante, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Graham Elwood. We're here by host of The Dollop, Dave Anthony. So it's been a little bit of a bloodletting this week from YouTube, demonetizing myself and a bunch of others. You love censorship, right? Isn't that why you do what you do?
I'm a huge fan. I mean, my thing has always been like, just everybody shut up. Just like nobody gets to say. The important thing is that Rachel Maddow gets to say what. Oh, there goes my kid. Oh. The most important thing is that people like Rachel. What is he doing? Yeah. I mean, we all knew this was coming,
right?
We've talked about it before. Like we all knew it was coming. I'm not of the opinion that, I know some people are like, well, everybody cheered when they did it the right, and I think they would have done it anyway. I don't think it's. I just think that this was coming, even if people weren't like, oh yes, take out Alex Jones. I think it still would have happened. Regardless, they would have always taken out the left.
Yeah.
It's completely expected. Look, they're giant corporations. You're a fucking socialist. They're not going to let you do your thing. That's just how America's always worked. They're not going to let socialists have a voice. They just don't. They never have. They never will. They put fucking, Eugene Debs in fucking jail. Like, this is who they are. They have always been this way.
Yeah. No, it's a great point. No, it's really like, you're right. You and I have talked about this privately. Like, this is, and all of everybody, I mean, Jimmy, Ron Placone, Lee Camp, all of us have been like, this is coming. And we've been saying this is coming for 2 years, really. I mean, just in terms of watching how YouTube would, limit ads when I did a video about the war in Yemen or, anything like that. You just saw that coming. And then
it started with the serious stuff and demonetizing that like right away. You see where that's all heading. You know where it's heading once they start doing that.
Yeah. And it's really like, so it's not surprising. I mean, I'm a little like, wow, they're just doing it all in 1 week. Like they just said February 1st, go. And I got hit. And then it's been just literally every day I get texts from people saying, oh, this show went down. This show just got down. And, they hit this guy. I forgot his name. Let me find it. Kim Iverson sent it to me today. Dan Bongino. I don't know him, but he's got 775,000 subscribers. They took him down.
That's the NRA guy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That guy had the NRA TV channel thing. He's a huge right-wing douchebag. That's surprising to me because he's Alex Jones big. Like he's huge. He's not just on YouTube. He's got Facebook. He's massive. That it's what's crazy about this to me is like, I guess they make so much money they don't give a shit. I guess they don't give a shit. And Jimmy's. What do we think? Jimmy's got a fucking week.
Maybe. I mean, he won't make it to the end of the month. That's for sure. I can't imagine they're going to let him the way they're just like wantonly, unless there's been enough pushback. I don't know. But I mean, like, this is the kind of thing where I don't know if they're deliberately picking off the sort of mid-level shows like mine with 50 to 75,000 subscribers and then sparing Jimmy because they know if they take Jimmy down, Joe Rogan will come forward and Joe Rogan's got 10 million. TYT won't because they love censorship and they're sellout pieces of shit, but
they're just fucking amazing throughout all that shit.
They're amazing. They're just like, yay, censorship. It's unreal. Like, they they must not have mirrors in their complex because they can't see their own reflection because you need a soul for that. I found out.
Well, I mean, look, I mean, you have an Armenian woman who's on a fucking network called the Young Turks. So right there, you have a legitimate issue with whatever in the fuck you are. Like, it's like having a fucking Jewish woman on a show called the Nazi Hour. Like, it's just fucking insane.
Yeah, the Gestapo network with yeah, it's really insane.
You know what? But I think, you know, I saw people in the chat. This is going to make Rokfin and maybe another alternative, but it's going to start to happen now. Like this is the balkanization of media. It was always coming. And maybe in the long run, this will be a good thing. Like maybe in the long run, a lot of people start to leave YouTube and go look for content elsewhere. I mean, YouTube has to go down in it because they have so much control and you know, they're in bed with the Democrats like that. I think that one of the main reasons this is happening right now is because, you know, the Democrats, Biden and the Obama people, they've been so just back and forth with YouTube and Uber and all these fucking shit companies that it's just one big party. And you know, Silicon Valley is the Democratic landing ground for once you get out of public office. So this isn't a surprise. This is happening once Biden took over because, you know, you're not really a threat when you're dealing with Trump because there's so many people yelling at Trump, but they don't want you yelling at Biden.
Oh, clearly. I mean, look, dude, last week I did a bunch of videos and live streams about the GameStop thing. And I brought up the fact, again, to your point, Janet Yellen has gotten $7 million from all these, not just banks, but Google. She got money from Google. And then, you know, I did videos showing Jen Psaki, the press secretary for Biden, dodged the blatant straight question. It was a straight question. Should she recuse herself for conflict of interest? Well, she earned the right to earn money. No one was asking that.
Because she's a lady? Is that why? No, it's because she's corrupt. It's not.
Yeah. That's not the question. That's the question. Are there conversations about her recusing herself because it's such a clear conflict of interest? Yeah. Oh, women shouldn't be millionaires. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. And then, so you're seeing this like you're talking about. I mean, Janet Yellen's speaker fee resume is just like every bank and tech company all together. I mean, you see how they're all infused. And it's not like anybody at Morgan Stanley needs to hear Janet Yellen speak. It's not like gonna be like, oh wow, how that's really interesting. It's fucking Morgan Stanley. They're not picking up any pointers from fucking Yellen. Like, Jesus Christ, it's clearly just a money handoff. It's just so crazy that anybody would say it's not. Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, and now we spent $7 million and we got our Secretary of Treasury, so now we're covered. I mean, that's what they're paying for. In the same way when they buy ad time on the big networks, Boeing isn't buying ad time on MSNBC because you're home with your wife going, oh, honey, the new F-18s are here. Like, they're doing it so that no one's going to push. MSNBC's not going to go, hey, wait, or Raytheon. This is an even better example. Raytheon buys ad time on MSNBC because no one is going to go, oh, the new Secretary of Defense is on the Raytheon board of directors. That's a clear conflict of interest. Instead, all they say is first black man. And it's like,
that's right. Yeah, it's really insane.
It's nuts. It's like a conflict of interest. They don't have it. They've been, the conflict of interest have been bought out. They've all been paid to not see it.
Yeah, and it's gone. It's just over.
My little show and other little YouTube shows are the only ones calling it out now. And so they just cut us out at the knees and took our money away. But I think you're right in terms of the long run. And I said this on my show, and I've said this to I have two part-time employees. We had a meeting, like, you know, urgent Tuesday morning when this all went down. As I said, look, in the short run, this is going to be difficult and it's going to suck. But I think in the long run, like I've just seen in the last 3 days, I mean, even in this live chat. So I'm live streaming on YouTube, but also on Rokfin. And all people are doing the last 3 days is I'm done with YouTube. I'm jumping over to Rokfin. I'm going to Rokfin. My subscriber number has gone up on Rokfin. You're going to be on Rokfin. Lee Camp's on Rokfin. Jimmy's on Status Coup, Convo, all the shows that just got tagged. Nico, we all just got hit. Yep. We're all on Rokfin. So it's like, and I talked to the head of Rokfin this morning on the phone, and I said, dude, I know you're aware of this. I go put out a post or a social media thing saying we stand by our content creators. And I'm like, because your show is going to be the front line of freedom of speech, you know, and which is in the long run, it's good because it's blockchain, which the more I learn about that, I'm like, oh, great. They can't just, they can't hack it. They can't just buy up the servers and do whatever they want. Yeah. And then you and I have both been getting more knowledgeable about crypto. We're seeing the power of that. The Ray token a year ago was at 17 cents. Today it closed at somewhere around $4, or not closed. It's always trading. Wow. Yeah. So it's like, so even that is, I'm seeing the potential long-term value as a content creator. If their cryptocurrency keeps going up through the roof, I'm getting the same amount of tokens from them for my content, but they'll be worth more. Yeah. So it's like, and they designed this platform just to reward the content creators.
Right.
So this could, I mean, honestly, like the Robinhood GameStop thing, and then what's happening now, I think the fallout from that is actually going to be more of this sort of online digital activism revolution thing, right?
Yeah, it's got to head in that direction. And they're, you know, it's not like the people who are on YouTube are like the liberals, like the mainstream. They're not here. They're not watching this shit. Like most people on here are, you know, looking for an alternative news source, and those are the people they're shutting down. So it's a really dumb, you know, model. I mean, I guess it's just all going to be people doing makeup and Mr. Beast and shit. Like, I don't know, but it just seems like they're going to drive all political people off of this medium, and fucking good. It's a shit fucking medium. It's a fucking asshole of a company. It always has been. And they cannot have a fucking monopoly on this. They just can't. It's just crazy that you know, someone like you, and now your living is just like totally
60% of my total revenue just got knocked out. That was 60% of this show's revenue. It was YouTube, knocked out overnight, done.
And then you know, guys like Jordan and like Ford Fisher. Ford Fisher is just literally just putting up fucking videos from the attack on the Capitol. That's all he's doing. He's just a journalist.
Yeah.
And his videos have been on CNN and cover. And then they yank him down. It's like, this is the same shit that the mainstream media is using. They're literally asking him to use his videos, and now you're shutting him fucking down. Like, it is astounding what is going on.
Yeah. And I think in the long run, though, it's like, you know, YouTube is the big boy and they got all this muscle and they work with the CIA. It's like, all right, they're really close to becoming MySpace. Like, keep it up.
That's right. I mean, you know, you think of websites like Dig, and you think of MySpace, and shit can flip like that. It can really just flip. And it doesn't even matter. Like, even people who are doing a makeup show or whatever, like if they see that they can make money elsewhere by also having content on Rokfin, they will jump in a second. They'll start putting up content there. They just will. Everybody will. It's just, you know, and you also don't know if your show is going to, you could just make one mistake now. Someone could just slip up in their stupid makeup show and say something, and then they're done. You can't, no one can exist like that. So even besides the political hit job this is, which is just such a blatant political hit job, but it's going to scare other people off of this medium.
Yes.
It's going to make everyone branch out, and that's for the greater good.
I agree. And it really undermines their monopoly and their power and their control, because right now YouTube, from a tech standpoint, is a really solid platform in terms of just content and the analytics and all. They've got that down because they've got the money and the infrastructure to do it. But like, okay, guess what? This week, I mean, Rokfin's numbers have gone through the roof, man. I mean, all of us have been live streaming all week going, go to Rokfin. YouTube won't, you know, people are coming on the YouTube chat. That's why I'm simulcasting right tonight. They were like, where's the super chat feature? They took it away. Oh, fuck this. I'm going to Rokfin. Like, I've been getting that all week. So it's like, okay, you know, all they care about is money. You know, that's why I say vote with your dollars, financial boycotts. And this is why, like, don't use Google, use like, I use ecosia.org, which is a non-for-profit search engine. I mean, any way you can get out from underneath them. And that's, again, why crypto is great. Like, I got out of debt with crypto, get out from their banks, get out from their war, get out from their big tech, which they all work together. They all work together to keep us all under their thumb. They sell other data, not only just sell it to the CIA, sometimes they just work directly with the CIA. So why not leave, man?
Get the fuck out. It's an opportunity. I mean, it's going to be a hit, in the short run, but in the long run, it's not. It's going to be better.
I think we're going to point to, it's funny, a bunch of people in the chat last week said, we're going to look at January 27th as like the Tea Party, like the Boston Tea Party. Like that date's going to go down in history, what the Wall Street bets did. And then I think the first week of February, like this whole time frame, like they picked a bad time. Everyone's already kind of fired up what happened. And then seeing how corrupt the system was with Robinhood, when mainstream Wall Street people are on shows like Bloomberg and CNBC going, wait a minute. When Wall Street people are saying this ain't right, the system's corrupt. And then everyone's like, ha, when, young Republicans are protesting on Wall Street, that's like Americans waking up and then seeing this bloodletting on YouTube. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, the only people that seem to be down with it, I just keep seeing leftists. Whenever someone gets knocked off, they go, oh, this guy said this. He's for Pizzagate. And you're like, oh, good job, leftist. No, you're super lefty right now. How fucking incredibly lefty of you to be excited that a lefty is getting kicked off a fucking platform in which they can talk sense to people and get people to move over to the left. No, good job. I'm just like, this is fucking embarrassing.
You're not a lefty then. You're a right-wing fascist. If you're like, yay, I'm glad for all this censorship, you can't call yourself left or liberal or anything. You'll say, because this is the other thing that drives me nuts. Like, everyone was like, Trump pushed this election, fraud thing. And that helped fuel the Capitol thing. Well, you know what else helped fuel it? 4 years of blaming everything on Russia, that the corporate media seems to be completely, they're off the hook for that. Like,
it's really fucking amazing. It's really amazing. They're completely off the hook. They push their own conspiracies and then we just have to sit back and I mean, what about fucking Iraq? Like, we invaded Iraq just based on why do all of the channels get to still exist if that happened? Why shouldn't CNN and New York Times and everything else be fucking canceled? Like, it's just mind-boggling what this society is. Like, Russiagate is just the latest in a series of just absolute bullshit by the mainstream media. It's crazy. I mean, you look at how they talk about Venezuela. It's like just the opposite of reality. It's mind-boggling, and you're like, oh no, but that's not misinformation. That's just whatever you want it to be.
Why aren't they deplatformed for saying Juan Guaido is the president of Venezuela? That right there should get you deplatformed because it's a lie. He's a CIA puppet who just stood up and said, I'm president. And most people in Venezuela go, who the fuck is this guy? Like, who's this guy?
It's really hard to watch. And we are getting the blowback from Russiagate, because what Russiagate did was it didn't make Democrats have to look at how much they fucked up.
No.
And so now you're getting the results of that, which is that nobody checked anything out and fixed anything, and you're just living in this fucking fantasy land. I mean, it's really crazy. Like, it's just this it's like, all the shit we've seen, 1984, Big Brother. It's really wild to watch it happen.
We've talked about this. We knew this was coming. So I wasn't like shocked on Monday, but it still is like, wow. Yeah, it happened. This is when it really happened to me. I was like, okay, so I have something in the neighborhood of 2,500 videos that are up. My back catalog of videos are all available. All the ads got pulled. No, they just said no ads on 2,500 videos. Like, my Epstein playlist, nope. My crypto playlist, nope. In my environmental, all my videos about, how to save the environment, no ads, nothing, gone, took it away. And I can't appeal it till March 3rd. They took a month.
That's what I don't understand. Did they give a reason for the month before an appeal?
No, and you can't do anything. There's no, the appeal button, you can't even click on it until March 3rd. That's it. You're just yelling at this monolith, just like, it's like walking outside of Google headquarters and just screaming over the fence or something, expecting like that nothing. They're like harmful content and you can appeal March 3rd.
And look, this isn't technically a free speech issue because that's when the government shuts you down.
Mm-hmm.
This is a result of Obama and the Democrats allowing this massive monopoly to exist.
Yep.
Like, this is what happens when you allow a gigantic monopoly to take over the speech medium online, the video medium. It's all on them, but they're fucking happy to have it, right? They're happy to cut you out and cut out anybody else. They're happy to cut out, Jordan and all these other fucking people who are just to the left of the party. So they don't, are they going to fix this? No, they're not going to fix this. They're also, like I said, they're all in bed with all of these Silicon Valley companies. At the end of the day, it's really a problem of a monopoly.
Yeah.
Because you should be, if YouTube wanted to kick you off, that's like, okay. And then you should just be able to go to the next place and set up camp and everyone can watch you. I mean, that's how this should work. There shouldn't be one fucking company that controls everything. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's just the Amazon of the internet, of the video medium. It's mind-boggling that anybody would think in a democracy it would be a good idea to allow this. Like, what the fuck? So Obama's a good president, but he allowed this to happen?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. And the Clintons allowed this to happen, and they just want to live in this delusion that only Republicans do bad things. They just want to live in this and when you point out how Democrats do awful things, they go, yeah, but Trump was bad. Like, okay, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, literally, when they're going to come for you,
yeah,
you're going to get censored in some way. And what are you going to do? When they get censored by the Democrats and these big tech companies that give a lot of money to the Democrats, they're so dumb and propagandized. They will still, as they're like, they will find a way to, the Republicans did it. Like, okay, man. Like,
it's like living in, this is really like living in a country with two cults. Like, it's just,
yes. There's two crazy cults. There's the MAGA cults, and then there's the vote any blue will do cults, and they're insane. They're too crazy, and we're just stuck in the middle going, what, you guys are both nuts.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And if you bring up reality, they just scream at you. I mean, when you try to talk to liberals about any of this stuff, they get mad at you for pointing out the truth, and you're just like, okay, I'm just so exhausted by everything you guys are.
Yeah. Yes. It's nuts. Well, dude, I gotta run, but thanks for coming on the show. And
I get paid, right?
Yeah. Reach out to YouTube. They're gonna cut you a check real quick. They're just handing out money over there. So yeah, they'll square you up. Just talk to their human resources. They'll get you straight. Cool. Yeah.
Okay. All right, thanks.
All right, Dave Anthony, check out the Dollop, everybody. Speaking of a cult, man, is that show fucked up. You guys are a crazy cult, and you need to be censored so much.
Oh yeah.
All right, Dave, good seeing you, man.
All right, see you, man. Good luck.
Later. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and Rokfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.